Are we?
We're good.
All right. In watching the film, specifically about the run game, what do you think is the biggest issue to get the run game back on track?
Well, it never changes, and that is that how do we scheme it? How do we coach it? And how do we execute it? And how do we call it? You know, it's all the above. It never really changes. When it's good, when it's not so good. That's a good defensive front. There's obviously a number of things we can do better.
Todd, with the offensive line, just what have you seen and how do you think they have played to this point of the season?
Well, I think I'm just going to speak in general. We've got ourselves in a little bit of a rut, right? It's not just the O-line, it's just us in general. And I'm going to refer back to what I said. It's not just them. It's we got to coach better. We got to scheme it better. We got to call it better. Got to execute better. And I know I'm a broken record, and they're a part of that. Everybody's a part of that. Just like we're all part of it when it's really good, and it has been. And so we got to own it when it isn't. Starting with me, right? That's where it starts. Then our coaches. Then how do we build it together? And then how do we get it done during the week that it shows up on Sunday?
What are you looking to see from Cooper Rush? If indeed he's going to make a second straight start, what did you like? What didn't you like?
I liked a lot of things about what he did. I think he handled the offense really well. I mean, I don't think there was any, from calls to him to the guys in the huddle to on the field. We just got to do it better. Got to call it better.
What kind of feedback have you got in meetings from players about? You mentioned coach better, scheme it better, etc. What's been their feedback to you in terms of some of those things?
Well, it's been great. I mean, it's it's what you do. It's a week-to-week league, right? I mean, it was just a month ago. I don't know what we had against the Bills, like the most explosive rate, whatever it was, and it just feels like, 4 weeks later, the sky is falling somewhere in their lives today, and we've got to get back to the things, one, that we do well and be able to execute it and stack plays together. We just haven't been able to do that. Really, from the beginning of the year, we were explosive, or we were off the field, and we got to help our defense out. I mean, we can't be off the field as often as we've been, as quickly as we've been, and we're better than that. We're better than that. We're better coaches. We're better players. We just need to go show it.
Todd, is there any reason why you feel like there haven't been that stacked plays, and how do you kind of get out of the rut that you referenced?
Yeah, if it was that simple, it'd be fixed. And it's a little of everything. It's again, like I said, it's really very simple. I got to call it better. We got to scheme it better. We got to coach it better. We got to execute better. It's never really usually one thing, and we're certainly capable of it.
When you hear coach talk about fundamentals and working on that, how do you translate that?
Oh, well, I don't disagree with it. We're always working on our fundamentals. It doesn't matter what position, because it does go back to that. Okay, it goes back to everything. When you're struggling, you go, okay, how do we fix it? That's the big word that I have. Okay, where does it start? Okay, it starts in our meeting rooms, upstairs. The meeting rooms, when we put it all together. Then when we take it to the players and we detail it out, are we all on the same page, right? Of what we expect to see, what we expect to see from the defense, what we expect to see from our guys, and then you take it to your individual drills, your fundamentals, right? The things that really are the core values. And it's as simple as, it's blocking and tackling, but your footwork, right? It's alignment, assignment, your angles, your body position. Are we in football position? All those things are a big part of it. So it's taking it from the meetings, big room, little rooms, and on the field fundamentals, and then having it show up in practice so it shows up on Sunday.
Todd, I know you said that you guys got to do a lot of things better, but you use the word like you guys are in a rut right now. I don't recall it looking like this since you've been out here. I know Lamar's not out there, but how do you, toe the line of, did things differently from what you've done, which has worked, to trying something new?
Well, that's all part of it. And when I said a rut, I was, a rut's usually small. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe it's a ditch, and then maybe it's a canyon. But right now we consider that a rut. We just got to get ourselves. It doesn't take long. I mean, there was a few opportunities come Sunday that would have got you going. It's like what's going to get us going? What's going to be that spark, okay, with all of us, starting with me and then our coaching staff, and making a play that gets us going, because in some ways, you know, it takes everybody. And like I said, I think we're going to continue to get better with that, because we're certainly capable of it.
When
Do you think-
when we talk with Derrick Henry, he takes accountability. He says that, you know, it starts with him as well. What have you seen from Derrick in the first 5 weeks?
I like the way he's practicing. I like the way he's going about his business. I mean, he's been a consummate pro. I think he's running hard. Again, it's a culmination of things, right? Creating space, creating opportunities. Because, you know, just a few weeks ago on 3rd and 1, we hit a downhill power and he went for 31 on 3rd and 1, right? And there you go, you know. So sometimes it just takes a play here or there. And you got to get the defense worn down a little bit. You think about some of the games we had last year, you know, where did some of those big plays come from? And we're no different than other teams, you know, where you see the running backs late in the game making these big runs. We haven't gotten there, right? We did against the Bills, but other teams, we haven't gotten there to where we've worn them down by stacking plays and getting into drives. That's really a big part of it.
Todd, you got your first little in-game look at Keaton Mitchell. What did you think of what you saw? And I mean, is he still ramping up in any way physically, or do you feel like he's ready to help you?
I think you'd have to ask Keaton how he is. He looks good to me. It's just finding the opportunities, but it's we had, and we are always going to have for all of our players, packages, right? But it's hard when you don't stack a number of plays together to really utilize whoever that is, right? It doesn't matter if that's Derrick Henry running the ball or throwing it, or Keaton Mitchell. It's hard to get to those when you don't have many plays, and we got to do better than that. That's on us in offense.
Kind of piggybacking off that, like you've talked about how having all these weapons is, you know, a good problem to have. Curious, does it sometimes as you're scheming it up and going through the game and so forth, does it ever sometimes become a problem because you have so many guys that?
No, not really. No, I mean, we want our skill guys to want the ball. They should. I mean, that's part of the position, is wanting the opportunity to touch the ball and help us win. I mean, that's really what they want. They want their talent to shine, and that's how they get to have their talent shine. And we just got to do a better job of getting it to them.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.